Splendid. So welcome to this week's workshop. Today we're going to be looking at limiting beliefs, not just what they are, but also how we can let go of our limiting beliefs. And part of that, today's process is going to be meditational. Do some relaxation, some meditation, some guided meditation. Also going to do a hypnotic element. And then at the end, I'm going to share a technique with you that will, it is one of my favorite techniques. And it's adaptable and flexible for many things, but this is my favorite way of using it. And it's quite often a really quick change in that limiting belief, because a belief is just an idea that that we've chosen to take as fact. It's actually just an idea, and ideas can be changed, they can be shifted, and these techniques and what we're going to do today will give you some tools to be able to shift and move those limiting beliefs. So what is a limiting belief? Well, any belief, any idea that starts with I can't or I am not tends to be a good signpost for a limiting belief. So there's some people I know who quite often go, we're not the type of people that are ever meant to be rich. That's a limiting belief that keeps them not rich. I'm not confident. I'm no good at this. I can't do that. These are limiting beliefs. I'm not somebody that can be loved. I'm not somebody that's good in relationships. You can see the pattern of I'm not, I can't. They're negative statements about yourself that, because you believe them, keep you trapped in where you're at in life. They don't allow you to move out. When you dissemble, when you take apart a limiting belief, it expands your reality, expands your world, not in a kind of psychedelic way, but in a quite a profound way, because suddenly, rather than being trapped here with the belief that you can't do something, or that you're no good at something, or that you're just no good, suddenly that melts away, and there's all these things that before you were avoiding or not engaging with because you felt that you were not able. That limiting belief, small world. Once that falls away, the world opens up. The world opens up. If you believe that you're somebody that can't take risks, then you're never going to take up an opportunity that maybe leads to a better job or an opportunity. One of my limiting beliefs, when I was very young, I got invited to go on an expedition somewhere. What was it? Greenland, or it was very, very snowy, icy up north, and usually a limiting belief has a fear behind it, and I'd never really done anything like that, and in my head I was like, oh, I don't think I can do that, and I believed that, so I didn't go. And yet the person that invited me was younger than me, and they were able to go and do it, and because they didn't have that limiting belief. So I missed out on something because of a limiting belief, and we do this all the time. I'm always ill is a really limiting belief. I can't get better is a limiting belief. And we don't excuse me, we don't always put those limiting beliefs on ourselves. Sometimes they're put on us. I've worked with people who have been told by their doctors that they're not going to get better, or they're always going to be in pain, who believe it because the person in the white coat, the official person, says this is how it's going to be. And the reality is that isn't always how it is. And it's an idea, and it's one person's opinion. So when it comes to our limiting beliefs, they really do have an impact on a lot of our lives. So like I said, today we're going to start with meditation. We're going to identify one or two of your own limiting beliefs, and then I'm going to share with you, like I said, a hypnosis session that will help you start to dissemble that limiting belief, to let go of it. Even there's no reason why you should not be able to be free of that by the end of this session. There's no reason why by the end of this session you will have let go of aspects of limiting beliefs, because it really can happen very quickly. I remember being online on a online conference. I was talking about the work I did, and there was a guy there who was a fitness coach, and he was talking about how when he was a kid he believed in Santa Claus up until the age of 15, and the only thing that stopped it going to 16 was a family gathering one Christmas where they were all in a hotel because it was a big family, and he'd Christmas Eve he'd gone to bed and they were hanging up their stockings, and the cousin walked past the room, saw him hanging his stocking up and went, "Oh, you've got one of those. Mum and Dad couldn't afford that this year because we've come here instead." In that moment, his belief in Santa was broken. It fell apart. He no longer believed in Santa. So the idea that limiting beliefs take a long time to change is in itself a limiting belief. And actually a good place to start if you want to work with your limiting beliefs is breaking the belief that change takes a long time, because change can happen quite quickly and often really does happen quite quickly. So let us begin. I'd like you to sit or lie comfortably. Make sure, the most important thing whenever we do any sort of meditative thing is to make sure you're not restricting your breathing. So don't be slouched over. Make sure you can breathe freely and easily. And so we'll begin by taking 3 wonderful deep breaths together. And then I'll guide you from there. And you don't have to close your eyes on the first breath and relax and drift into meditation. And you don't have to do that on the second breath, relax and drift into meditation. But on the third breath, if you've not already relaxed and drift into meditation, you can close your eyes and just relax and begin to meditate with me as I guide you. Taking a deep breath in. Hold it. And breathe out. Taking a deep breath in. Hold it. And breathe out. Taking a deep breath in. Hold it. If you've not done so already, as you breathe out now, just allow your eyes to close. Just tell yourself, I'm going to relax. I'm going to meditate. Outside noises will not disturb me. Everyday thoughts will not distract me. They just drift by like clouds in the sky. And throughout this, my voice will go with you. So just returning to your natural breath, just allow yourself to take just slightly longer breaths than normal, but still comfortable. And when you breathe, imagine you're breathing into the very pit and base of your stomach. As adults, we tend to get shallower and shallower in our breathing as we get older. But by breathing deeper, breathing in and out, and following that air all the way down into the stomach, feeling the stomach expand as you breathe in, and retracting as you breathe out. And I want you to become aware of just the top of your head, the scalp. And maybe you can begin to notice how with each breath, any tension there starts to dissolve, to relax. And that sense of relaxation, of dissolving tension, whatever that is for you, can continue down. through the forehead, the muscles, the skin, the scalp at the back of the head, the eyes, the eyebrows, the cheeks, the jaw, just all relaxing, letting go, softening and unwinding. And that continues down through the upper back and chest, the shoulders, becoming loose, limp and heavy just with every breath, easing the tensions out. And I wonder just how much you can relax with each breath, each part of the body as you continue down the arms, to relax to the elbows, to the wrists, to relax to the fingers, the arms becoming loose, limp and heavy like a rag doll. And however you do that, you can allow it to continue now. As you're aware of my voice and the body relaxing through the upper back and chest, down through the lower back and stomach, with just the breath moving, inflating and deflating the stomach. From there into the hips, the lower back, dissolving tensions, letting go, unwinding, the spine unwinding like a taut string, slowly uncurling and loosening every fibre, every cell, every muscle, just letting go. Maybe you can allow that softening and that relaxation to continue down through the hips, through the upper legs, thighs, through to the knees. The knees can just dissolve tension as you become aware of your knees, the sound of my voice and a sense of relaxation and warmth flowing through. Down through the shins and the calves to the ankles, and all the way to the very tips of your toes. Just relax. And there's nothing to do, just relax. The more you relax, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more you can relax, easily and effortlessly. And maybe you have thoughts, and if a thought arises, you can just let it go, like a balloon on a string drifting away. And to help you create more silence in your mind, you can just ask yourself, I wonder, what will my next thought be? And just wait in that stillness, allowing yourself to relax, to let go. And I want you to shift your awareness to your breath, and for a while we're going to do some slow, deep breathing. Breathing in gently but deeply, holding it, and then breathing out slowly, gently and deeply, all the way. Breathing in slowly, gently and deeply. Breathing out slowly, gently and deeply. And continue by yourselves for a few moments, just breathing deeply, allowing yourself to let go of tension on the out-breath. Breathe in peace and relaxation on the in-breath. And just a little bit longer. Breathing in and out. All the way into the pit of the stomach. Return to your natural breath. And as you do that, I want you to become aware of a special place, a mystical place, a magical kind of place, a place of support and comfort, a place of peace and relaxation. Be there now. Just see the things you see, hear the things you hear. A place where you can observe and watch all that goes on within. Listen to the voice of your inner self. Undisturbed, supported. I want you to look around that place until you notice a spot that's just the right place for you to comfortably look at limiting beliefs that are holding you back. I don't know where that place within that special place is, but just be there now. Go over to that spot. Just be in that space. Maybe sit down in that space and just take a moment in silence to observe whatever thoughts arise around your limiting beliefs. What is that you say so often to yourself that holds you back? That if you did not have, if it were not there, would open up more of your life for you, allow you to live more fully. Maybe you can imagine those thoughts like clouds drifting by, and you reach out and you grab that thought that's been holding you back. And taking that cloud of thought in your hands, take a moment to familiarize yourself with whatever that limiting belief is, whatever that idea is that you've invested so much time in that holds you back, limits life. I wonder, is it really true? Test it. Is it really true? Or is it an idea that it's now time an idea that's now time to let go? Because this belief no longer serves you. And you can let this go now. this cloud, this limiting belief that used to hold you back. So in your mind's eye, in that special space, I wonder what happens as you let go of that cloud. And it rises up and gently begins to disperse, becoming fainter and fainter now. And you can watch until whatever that was completely fades away. And whether you forget to remember what that was or remember to forget what it was, when you no longer know what that was, it can no longer bother you. Every last bit of it just fading away. And you can say to yourself, I let go of those ideas and beliefs that have held me back. And each day, I step into a new future, free from old limiting beliefs. And as and when you're now ready to let go of whatever that old limiting belief was, I want you for a moment to just gently open your eyes. Gently opening your eyes, and being here now. That's right. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into hypnosis. This is an easy process. Some of you will have obviously done this before. Just follow my instructions to the best of your ability. Allow yourself this experience. And we're going to make it really simple. In fact, this is the easiest way you can go into hypnosis today. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in. And as you do that, I want you to open your eyes as wide as you can. And then as you breathe out, I want you to just gently close your eyes. The second time, breathing in, open them again. Just gently close your eyes. And on the third and final time, open them a bit. Just gently close them and go within. So let's make a start. Take a deep breath in, opening those eyes really wide, and as you breathe out, allowing those eyes to close as you relax and your eyes can become heavier. Taking a second deep breath in, this time the eyes just not opening as much, just gently opening those eyes as they relax even more. And you breathe out and close them again, allowing them to relax. And on this third deep breath in, breathing in, eyes just heavy, so they're just barely opened. As you breathe out, allow them to close. And just focus within for a while. Focus on that point just above the brow, that where they say the third eye is, center of the forehead there. Draw your attention to that point as your eyes, just your eyes, relax even more. And when you are certain that your eyes are so relaxed you cannot open them, I want you to just gently test them. Try to open them. That's right. Just gently trying. Maybe they open a little bit, in which case just allow them to close and just relax your eyes even more. We're not testing to see if we can open them. We're testing to see if we cannot. So once they're that heavy, just imagine what it would be like if they were stuck down, so heavy, so tight, you cannot open them. And then just test them again. That's it. And with eyes closed, so I'm going to take that relaxation over for you now, up through the top of the head, down through the muscles of the face, down through the neck, into the shoulders, down the arms to the tips of the fingers, increasing the relaxation before as you go deeper now, down the upper back and chest, the upper back and stomach, and down into the hips, dissolving, relaxing, softening and unwinding all the way down the upper legs, the knees, the shins, the calves, the ankles, to the very tips of the toes, continuing to relax every cell, fiber and muscle of your body. And it's really good to relax. The more you relax now, the better you feel. And the better you feel now, the more you can relax, going deeper within. And I'm going to count down from 10 to 0. 10 is where you are now. 0 can be in a wonderful, profound state of hypnosis, just focused within and following my voice, allowing my voice to go with you. That's 10, every cell, fiber and muscle of the body, letting go and unwinding. 9, drifting down through time and space. 8, with every breath you take and every word that I speak, it starts to become automatic. You do not have to think about this. Just relax. From 8 to 7, and it's as though there's a wonderful anesthetic just flowing through the body, warming and softening, everything becoming loose, limp and heavy. From 7 to 6, just allowing that feeling to intensify, to grow as you focus deeper within, down to 5. 5's that midway point. Think about a wheel on a bike. The spokes and the rim of the wheel go around very fast, but as you get closer to the center, that center point all appears calm and all appears still. And I want you to become aware now of that place within you that feels most comfortable and most still, and allow that feeling to spin and flow within you. From 5 to 4, and with every breath you take, every word that I speak, it's automatic now. You do not have to think about this. Just relax. From 4 to 3, that wonderful natural anesthetic flooding the system now. Feeling good, mind and body relaxing, letting go. From 3 to 1, deeper now into that experience, intensifying that focus and that relaxation, and it feels good now. And the 0's coming your way, and I want you to imagine that 0 like a perfect circle. And your conscious mind can keep chasing the end of that perfect circle, trying to find it, whilst your unconscious mind, as we go now to 0, can step forward and work with me to release and let go of some limiting beliefs today. And I want you to imagine just the essence of yourself floating up out of your body, up into the air, all the way up into the air. I don't know how high you need to go to be free of some of those limiting beliefs today, but however high that is, maybe above where you live, maybe a big high enough to see the town beneath you, maybe high enough to see the earth beneath you. But however high you need to go now, I need to be there, looking down. And as you look down, you notice a target. It's like an archery target. You've got the rings around the outside, and in the center there's the bullseye. And as you look down upon that, I want you, as you focus on the bullseye, and it's a big target because you're actually going to go through it. As you're looking down at that target, I want your unconscious mind to start filling it with those limiting beliefs that have held you back from expanding your life, expanding your enjoyment in life. It's those limiting beliefs that have stopped you from living a fulfilling life. Just imagine that now. Picture that. See that bullseye filled with those limiting beliefs. Maybe there's a color to that. I don't know what color your unconscious mind just chose to represent those limiting beliefs, but whatever that color is. It's the right color for you today to be free of those limiting beliefs. So in a moment, I'll make a noise like this. When I do, you're going to fly down like an arrow, fast and true, and you're going to go, well, you're going to go straight through the center of that bullseye, straight through the center of those limiting beliefs. Be brave, because for one last time, you'll feel their effect, but then it's gone forever. You come out the other side, free from those limiting beliefs, connecting to an expansive feeling of peace and new infinite possibilities. So in a moment, I'll make that noise. When I do, you're going to fly down like an arrow, fast and true, straight through that target. You're going to go through it for one last time. One last time. You will experience, for one last time, those limiting beliefs and their impact on you, but then they're gone forever. You break that chain, you shatter that target, you come out the other side, and you connect to a sense of inner peace, an expansive feeling, a feeling of infinite new possibilities. In 3, 2, 1, all the way down, straight through that target and out the other side, connecting to a sense of calm, of peace, an expansive feeling, having let go now of all those limiting beliefs, and just connecting to a wonderful sense of new infinite possibilities. And I wonder, as you've let go of those limiting beliefs at one level or another today, how much more your world can expand and how much more you can enjoy and be fulfilled in even the simplest things in life. And as you're connecting to that, and as you're breaking those chains, having broke them and left them behind, I want you to drift over to a corner of the room and look back upon yourself, free from limiting beliefs. Even if it's just one limiting belief, seeing yourself free from that now, as you are in that chair, completely free from that. And whilst you're looking back upon yourself, free from that limiting belief, I want your unconscious mind, your inner self, to do everything it needs to, access every resource, every learning, every understanding that will free you from that limiting belief or those limiting beliefs once and for all, releasing you from their effects, allowing you to live a more fulfilling life. And as you're doing that, whilst you're watching yourself free from those limiting beliefs, when your unconscious mind has done everything it needs to, and only when it's done that, will you drift back over into your body, back over into your body. And when you're fully back in your body, having let go of those limiting beliefs once and for all, you can gently open your eyes, feeling good. And ready to move in to the next section. And there's a part of you that's, ever since you're a child's always known how to learn, how to understand, how to take things on board. And that part of you now can work with us as we look at a way in which you can take control and work through all your own limiting beliefs easily and effortlessly. Take some practice. You have to do the thing to get the results. But when you do that and you put that time into you, you will discover that those beliefs that used to hold you back really do start to fall away. And so I want to finish today's session by looking at a technique, a method. Now, do feel free, if you would like to, when we get to describing this technique, to actually do the thing as I'm talking through it. However, you may choose not to, in which case listen back, make some notes, and in fact I'll create some notes to go with this that give you the steps of this method, this technique. And it's my favorite method of helping people break limiting beliefs. One time I used it, and for those of you who may have heard this before from me, I was at a holistic day in a town nearby here, and someone came to me, well, their mother came to me saying that they had their daughter had no confidence. In fact, she couldn't even come up and speak to me, but she had an interview coming up, really wanted the job, but with her confidence where it was, there was no chance she was going to get it. And She eventually came over and spoke to me, and I took her through this method, this technique, and by the end of it, you could see when people have no confidence, they're very curled up and kind of trying to hide away from the world. And by the time we finished, you stood there in this field full of people looking really confident, really standing there, proud, strong, ready. And I got a message about a week later saying, thank you very much. She'd passed, got through the interview and got the job, which was, that's just doing what I do. That's what you want to hear. And that didn't take very long. That took 5-10 minutes of chatting to her and working with this. So I'm going to teach you now what it was that I did. And you don't have to do anything to learn this. Just by listening to it, you can take it in, and your unconscious mind can understand how it can apply this to your limiting beliefs to help you get beyond those things and expand your life. So this is a wonderful method, comes to us from NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and it's called the as if method. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. You've already done some of the work on it already today, because the first stage of this is identify a limiting belief. Now, because I used the example of the girl at the event, I will use that as my way of illustrating this technique and this method. So first of all, you identify the limiting belief you want to work with that day. And sometimes one time through this will do the job, like when I worked with the girl in the park. Other times you might have to do it over a number of days, maybe sometimes weeks, to really get that change you're after. But you can get that change. That's the important thing. So you identify your limiting belief. In the case of the girl that was at the event, that was, I have no confidence, therefore I am not going to get this job, and I'm probably not even going to make it to the interview. I'm not confident, I'm not good enough. So once you've got that, you start to think about how would you behave? How would you behave if you were confident? How would you behave if you were good enough? If you were the person in this instance for that job? What are those qualities that you would display? How would you speak? How would you walk? How would you gesture when you interacted? How would you stand? How would you sit? Think about all those things. Now, sometimes it can be difficult to have our own frame of reference for what that would be like if it was us doing that, because we believe we can't. However, if that's the case, just think of a celebrity, an actor, a musician, a politician, a teacher, somebody who embodies those qualities that you believe you do not. So in this instance, in the park, there was a singer. I'm not into pop music, so don't ask me who it was. There was a singer that this girl identified because she couldn't imagine herself being that confident. But there was a singer she identified and said, if I was like that singer, then I'd be able to do it. I'd be confident, I'd get the job. So you do that. And then when you're ready, you've got your person or the image of yourself as that person in your mind. You take some deep breaths, stand up, you take some deep breaths. And there comes a point, if you stand up tall and take some deep breaths, there comes a point where suddenly your brain goes, yes, and you start feeling good. The oxygen's hitting the spot, you know what I'm saying? And once you get to that point, imagine either that ideal you with those qualities that you believe you don't have, or if that's difficult, imagine that person who embodies those qualities. So for the girl, I got her to imagine that pop star. Now, I did it slightly different with the girl. I'm going to explain the method here, but I'll explain both ways. When I worked with the girl, I got her to imagine that pop star somewhere in the field. Where would that pop star be stood if she was confident and deserving of that job and was going to get it? Picture her there, see her there. And I got the girl to imagine this in her mind. where she'd be, to picture her, how she'd stand, how she'd be moving, all that stuff that we talked about. And then when the girl was ready, I said, right, now walk over and step into that spot, step into that person. Now, this girl walked all hunched up, all curled up across the field, looking like the weight of the world was on her shoulders, trying to hide away until she got to that spot. And when she got into that spot, and I hadn't told her to do this, but when she stood in that spot, suddenly she stood up tall. She looked about half a foot taller. Shoulders went back. You see her kind of like this. And her presence, her energy expanded. She grew. So I ran over to her and asked her how that felt. And she said, it feels amazing. I can do this. I know I can get this job, which was very different to the person I've been speaking of. When you're doing this technique for yourself, you don't have to have a field and somewhere to go and stand in, although you can do it that way. But what you can do is, if you're at home, you imagine that person or that ideal you in front of you. And when you're ready, when you've got the image, when you can see them clearly in your mind's eye, and I'm not meaning like a video, not everyone can see it like a movie or anything. Some people just get the idea that that person is there. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Is just think about it however you think about it, to the point where you've really invested in the idea of that person in front of you, or that ideal you. And then when you're ready, standing up, you take a deep breath, you reach your arms around that imagined person, and you draw them gently and slowly into you. And as you do that, you take on that person. You stand as if you were that person with that confidence, or whatever that is that you feel that you don't have. You stand and you move and you gesture and you talk as if you were that person, whether that person is the you with those qualities or somebody else that has those qualities. And the thing to do from then on is to keep behaving as if you are that person or that ideal you. Not quite fake it till you make it, more like have faith and become that person. What's this doing for us? Well, if you repeat that exercise, and if you do and it is that, do it. If you don't do it, it's not going to work. Do it. And when you're as that person, when you're in those situations where, and I'll use the confidence thing, where in the past you wouldn't be confident, even though it might be a bit of an effort, stand as though you're confident. Stand like that person, because what's happening, you're teaching, you're training your mind. Think about it. When you learn to stand up, I've never met anyone who was like, well, one day my kid decided to stand up and just went bump and walked around the room. Doesn't happen. However, a kid repeats the actions to get stronger and stronger, and that's training the mind, teaching the mind what it needs to do to get the physical body to then do the same. And that's what we're doing with this technique. It happens very quickly. If you can get yourself into that right state of mind, when you take those deep breaths in, and then you get that image of that person and you step into that person. I mean, I use it when I'm doing these, although I've done a lot of talking like this now. I still find it helps to imagine a me on the chair that is confident, fluid, and passionate about what they do. And then when I sit down, I'm sitting into that person. I adjust myself. And those of you that get on early might even see me doing that. So let's recap on that. You're teaching your mind through taking on that character. You're acting as if you're that person, or as if you're you that no longer has that limiting belief. And all you've done with the limiting belief is teach yourself how not to do something. And all this does is teach you now how to do it. And you can do it. So let's quickly fly through those steps again. Identify the negative belief. So I'm not confident. I'm not meant to have money. I'm always going to struggle with this. They're all limiting beliefs. You get that. How would I behave if I didn't have this limiting belief? What qualities would I have? What would be different? Who would that me be? If that's a bit of a struggle, who has the qualities that I don't because of my limiting belief? Once you've got that person or yourself in mind, build that image in your mind. What does that person look like? What do they talk like? How do they gesticulate? It's a difficult word to get out when you've been talking for a while. And imagine that. Another thing you do when you're imagining that person in front of you, yeah, when you're at that stage, saying the words that are those qualities that you want to learn. So confidence, courage, whatever they are, repeating them as you're building that image of that person in front of you, or that you in front of you that you're going to be. Add the words in, say them, and when that feels energized, when you've got that, draw that you into you. Take on that person, sit, stand as they do, move as they do, walk around the room as if you were them. You know, if I don't know why you would, but say you chose Severus Snape, Alan Rickman from the Harry Potter movies. There's something in his quality that, I don't know, that confident sternness or that disciplined self thing. I don't know what it would be in that image, but imagining it's that, and you start moving around the room as if you're him, and making those gestures, and you're teaching your mind how to be that person. And at a certain point, your mind's going to go, well, I can do this. If you can do it, you no longer have that limiting belief that said you can't. So as you're taking that on, and as you're listening as that, I'm going to count down from 10 to 1 to allow you to, as you close your eyes now, to just relax again. At the same time, I'll count up from 1 to 10. Your mind can become lighter and freer. At a certain point, it'll drift completely free of the body for a while and just connect with those new infinite possibilities that this learning brings to you. And your unconscious mind can take on board all that you've gained today and apply it in wonderful ways. And I just wonder how many wonderful ways you will be able to let go of limiting beliefs now that you've completed this. That's 10, just letting go and relaxing. 1, the mind becoming lighter and freer. 9, drifting down through time and space. 2, limiting thoughts, limiting ideas, beliefs that have held you back, whether they were put upon you or whether you put them upon yourself, are now cleared from your mind. 9, letting go, drifting, floating down, allowing this learning to integrate and become a part of who you are now. 2 to 3, those limiting beliefs, ideas, and any sort of heavy feelings or emotions connected to them completely cleared away. 8, relaxing further. 4, the mind drifts free, floating up to a place of new infinite possibilities where everything you've gained today is integrated and made a part of who you are moving forward. 7 to 6, letting go, drifting, floating down. 5, and I'll continue to count from 5 to 1 as you relax even more. That's 5, letting go. 4, deeper. 3, intensifying that wonderful sensation. 2, let you go and relax to 1. And as you relax, I'll continue to count from 5 to 10, the mind becoming even freer. That's 5 to 6, limiting beliefs and ideas just melting away, drifting away. 7, letting go of all those heavy feelings connected with those limiting beliefs that used to hold you back. All of it washed away, clear away. 8, picture the sun. Imagine the sun coming up at dawn. It's all dark, and out of the darkness the light appears, and then that glowing orb of fire and light rising up out of the distant horizon, and you reach out and you take it. It's about the size of a golf ball in your hand, and you stick it in the very center of yourself. It starts glowing brighter and brighter and radiating out, filling your body with light. And every limiting belief that's ever held you back gathers like a dark cloud on your chest. But that light's pushing it now. It's pushing that cloud up. It's trying to hold on, but it cannot. It gets pushed up to the shoulders, up through the neck, up through the jaw, up through the face to the brow, up through the skull to the crown, until that light from that sun within you gets so bright it pushes every last bit of that cloud out of your head and up into the sky, up into space. It's trying to get back in, but it cannot. Every last bit of that limiting belief's gone, just pushed further and further away, getting smaller and smaller, out into deep space. And in deep space, it passes a black hole. Now, anything that ever enters a black hole is never felt, seen, or experienced again. And you watch now as that cloud of limiting beliefs is swallowed up by a black hole, never to be felt, never to be seen or experienced again. 9, A moment of clarity, integrating all you have gained in this workshop today. 10. A moment of enlightenment and peace, drifting up awareness to the highest point of self, that part of you that watches you watching you think. That's right. And in a moment, I'll count from 1 to 10. 1 is where you are now. 10 will be eyes open, wide awake, back at the end of this workshop now, having gone on a journey, having let go of some limiting beliefs and having learned ways to move forward and take control and let go of more limiting beliefs every day. And I don't know whether you'll let go of one limiting belief a day or whether you'll let go of a couple every couple of days, but however many limiting beliefs you begin now to let go of, I know you can really benefit from all that you've gained today. So that's 1, coming back. 2, to everyday life. 3, to be the person you can be and the person that you're not yet. It's 3 to 4, that's wonderful, coming back, integrating that learning. 5, take a nice deep breath in. Enjoy that oxygen flooding round. 6 to 7, coming all the way back. Imagine you're dancing under a fountain and the water's refreshing, revitalizing. 8, 9, all the way. And 10, open your eyes back here. Feel good now. Ready to embrace all that new learning and embrace that freedom that letting go of those limiting beliefs today has brought you.